Anthony Armstrong is going to make the play here. You're going to be saying tackled by Anthony Armstrong.
So we're looking for number 13, Anthony Armstrong, unless the ball gets kicked out of the end zone, which it is by Dan Bailey.
Almost fielded by a cheerleader.
So the Cardinals will take over on offense at their own 20-yard line. Sean Lee and that Cowboys defense. Babe, you've seen Sean Lee and Oxnard the last 3 weeks, and he looks pretty good, doesn't he?
Oh, I just don't know how you can play any better. With the exception of maybe the guy that visited camp a couple of days ago, Dick Butkus, who was out of Cowboys camp.
Carson Palmer, the quarterback of the Cardinals, who, by the way, won their preseason opener at Green Bay last week. And a swarming Dallas defense. Nick Hayden in on the stop, along with a couple of other Cowboys, in time for the Miller Lite lineup for the Cowboys on defense. You got George Selby, Nick Hayden getting the start as Ratliff is still out, as is Anthony Spencer. And then you got Jason Hatcher and DeMarcus Ware up front. Linebackers Durant, Lee, and Carter. And in the secondary, no Mo Claiborne again this week. Brandon Carr is the starter at left cornerback. It's 2nd and 11 for Palmer and the Cardinals. And off the hands of Rob Hausler is tied in with Orlando Scandrick covering. As you look at the Cowboys secondary, Scandrick getting the start at cornerback. The safeties are Barry Church and Will Allen. It's 3rd and 11 for the Cardinals.
Carson Palmer again, they've been in such flux ever since Kurt Warner retired here for the Arizona Cardinals. They played a whole bunch of starters. None of them have proven themselves, and Carson Palmer comes in here at the age of 33 trying to do what Kurt Warner did at the age of 34 for this franchise.
3rd and long, and on the slant, incomplete. Lee defending, Brandon Carr defending, and that's a good start for the Cowboys starters on defense. By the way, they had B.W. Webb playing the nickel corner and Orlando Scandrick outside, perhaps because Larry Fitzgerald is a pretty good receiver for the Cardinals.
He didn't have the great numbers last year, Fitzgerald, because of their quarterback play, but certainly a great receiver, Hall of Fame receiver.
So punt time for the Cardinals. Dwayne Harris is deep for Dallas. Taken at the 25 and nowhere to go.
Ball came out.
He got stripped, guys.
Mickey Spagnola with a bird's eye view on the sideline.
The Cardinals initially had it, then there was a scrum underneath, and I believe they do have it.
Well, if you believe the officials, they have it, because they're signaling Arizona Cardinals football.
Stephon Taylor, the man from Mansfield, the rookie out of Stanford. And it was Reggie Walker, the veteran linebacker, who was down there as well.
Boy, that won't go over well with Rich Bisaccia.
Yeah, they had the blocked field goal last week, fumbled punt this week. They had the botched punt last week, the muff punt. That was not by their returner. This is. Dwayne Harris is going to be the returner. He just did not secure the football.
So now, all of a sudden, great field position for Palmer and the Cardinals. There's a whistle before the snap.
The previous play is under review.
So on the change of possession, the play under review.
And this is not a challenge by head coach Jason Garrett, who we see there. Change of possession always reviewed upstairs.
So while they review, we take a break very early in this one. At Cowboys Nation on Twitter or Instagram, and you could be featured.
First down, Arizona.
And the review goes the Cardinals' way. Play stands as called. We will feature those Instagram pictures throughout the broadcast this afternoon. So at the Cowboys' 22-yard line, after the muffed punt by Dwayne Harris. And inside the 20-yard line, down to the 17. Bruce Carter in on the stop.
Bruce Carter playing that outside linebacker spot and playing it well. Again, Bill, it's been said, and I happen to agree with it, the tandem of Bruce Carter and Sean Lee are going to be simply dynamic this year for the Cowboys. Always with the caveat, of course, if they can stay healthy, which neither was able to do last year.
Yep, that's been a problem for both the Cowboys linebackers that you mentioned. Rashard Mendenhall got 4 yards. He was a free agent signing in the offseason by Arizona. Back to throw it under pressure. Palmer has his man to the right side. Andre Roberts swarmed under, but looks like he has the first down, or he's close to it anyway. He has the first down near the 10.
Cowboys getting some good push up inside. Short drop for Palmer. He gets pushed right as he goes to throw this football, and Cowboys swarm it, but not before Arizona gets a first down. Bruce Carter just a little bit late reacting. You can see him pushing the wide receiver up the field, then he's trying to get under that flat route, that out route, and he's just not able to get there soon enough.
Andre Roberts, the former third-round draft pick out of the Citadel, just outside the 10-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for Arizona. Hitting the backfield, trying to escape. And he's caught for a loss, and Bruce Carter does his thing.
This game started out, Bill, just the exact opposite of what we've seen in the first 2 games for the Cowboys, where the Cowboys defense has forced turnovers on the opposition's first 2 drives. This time it's the Cowboys on the first possession, giving up the football on the punt return, the fumble by Dwayne Harris.
That was Alphonso Smith on the carry. The Cardinals have not only Rashard Mendenhall, but also Ryan Williams, who is hurt. Alphonso Smith, the third back. Palmer, time over the middle, but a short pickup down to the 7. Once again, the Cowboys swarm him. Sterling Moore, Bruce Carter in on the tackle at the 7. 3rd and 6. Throwing for the end zone, it's knocked away. Brendan Carr.
Not only did he knock it away, guys, Brendan Carr almost picked that ball off. He made a better break for the ball than the wide receiver.
Watch Larry Fitzgerald coming from the right side of your screen. He comes underneath. He's wide open underneath. Carson Palmer obviously reading it from the right, but watch Fitzgerald here again, number 11 in the slot. He comes in. He's just begging for the football. He says, hey, I'm open. I'm Larry Fitzgerald. Throw it to me.
Did not see him. And Jay Feely is on for a 25-yard field goal, and the Cardinals take advantage of the turnover. Tony Romo and the Cowboys offense take over when we come back to Glendale, Arizona. All season long with Papa John's, you can order the Cowboys 5-star combo. Get a large pizza with up to 5 toppings and a 2-liter Pepsi for $10.99. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. But just over 11 minutes to play here in the first quarter. The Cowboys trail 3-0.
Dwayne Harris is back receiving this kickoff, Bill, and the one thing he doesn't want to do is say, watch, I'm going to make up for that last mistake by busting a big one. So you just got to be smart here again with the football if you're Dwayne Harris.
He will take it out from the end zone, right up the middle. Can't get to the 20-yard line. Ball out again.
Arizona's diving in on that ball. It may be.
Looks like
he hung on to it, but I'm not sure how, guys. He got blasted when he hit up in there in the middle.
Tony Romo a week ago was 6 of 8 for 88 yards. Brings the first team offense out on the field for the first time. DeMarco Murray fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage. The Miller Lite lineup for the Cowboys on offense. Murray, Bryant, and Austin, the wide receivers. Witten and Hanna at tight end. And up front, Travis Frederick gets the start at center. Flanked by David Arkin at left guard, Mackenzie Bernardo at right guard, and the tackles are Tyron Smith and Doug Free. 2nd and 10 from the 20.
That was all too familiar from last year, right? 1st and 10, run it. Now you got 2nd and 10.
Tangled up Miles Austin and Patrick Peterson. Incomplete, 3rd and 10.
And if you ask yourself, well, what's different from the regular season to the preseason? I was talking to one of the Arizona defensive coaches before the game. They said, real game, they've got Patrick Peterson locked up on Des Bryant wherever he would go. But in this one, Peterson will just take to whoever comes to his side. And he is a really, really good one.
And it's Des coming to his side this time. Tyron Matthew, the rookie out of LSU, is playing in the slot. He is starting this game at safety, but he's the slot corner. He's on Austin. On 3rd and 10, under pressure. Flag down in the Cardinals secondary. A pickup of 8 yards to Austin.
Flag down in the pocket as well, so we're going to have separate infractions here.
Might be a low hit on Tony Romo.
I'm not going to speculate here because I didn't see it.
There are 2 fouls against the defense on the play. Holding, 21. That penalty's declined. Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 54. Penalty is 15 yards from the end of the run. 1st down, Dallas.
You always see for those 2 penalties, and you hope one of them isn't on you. And, oh boy, that was a shot to the head. But look at Romo. Romo looked like he got shot. He barely got touched. He sold it though, did he?
That's what you do.
That's what 10 years in the league will do for you. Cowboys going no huddle here, jumping right up onto the line of scrimmage.
So counted as a 9-yard pickup to Austin, and then the 15-yard penalty, and a huge hole for DeMarco Murray into the Cardinals' end of the field.
Good hole there, left side. Boy, you like to see that. Look at Miles Austin coming down, getting a nice block. Good little shoulder block, saying, DeMarco, way to go. DeMarco says, look, you give me those kind of holes, and there's going to be a lot of way to go.
Can run all day.
Wow, nice. Now, Bill Callahan, the new play caller, this is his dream. 2nd and a short one. You do anything you want here.
So the stretch run to Murray, and there's nothing there.
Wow, may have lost a little bit there. I say it's a great play caller's down because you always feel like if we don't get it on if we throw it on 2nd and don't get it, we can come back and run it on 3rd or play action on 2nd down. Now you bring it up a testy little 3rd and 1, and just crossing the 50, this will be a punt situation if the Cowboys don't get it.
It was a loss of a yard for Murray, and it's 3rd and 2. Looking left, and a wide open Terrence Williams. And it's beyond his reach.
Boy, he was blown by him there. Both sides. Terrence Williams on the left, wide open. And he's got Des Bryant, we're going to see in a minute, wide open on the right side. Has to be blown coverage here. Great release. Terrence Williams left in plenty of room. Watch Des Bryant, though, Bill. They blow the coverage on the right side, and Des was wide open. You can't see both sides, though. In fairness to Tony Romo, you don't see both sides.
And the fair catch is made at the 11-yard line. 36-yard punt for Chris Jones.
That was a big
Arizona
play.
Will take over.
Big play the Cowboys lost. Excuse me, Bill.
Dallas Cowboys football is back, and you can see it live at AT&T Stadium. Single game tickets and party passes are available for most 2013 home games. Go to DallasCowboys.com or call 1-800-745-3000 for tickets. Eleven-yard line is where Arizona takes over. Larry Fitzgerald, there is a flag down. Looked like DeMarcus Ware was held by Levi Brown.
Oh, he was held big time. The guy just couldn't get the umpire couldn't get the flag out of his pocket.
DeMarcus said, "You need some help with that. I'll go pull it for you." Sometimes that happens. They just can't find it.
Holding. Offense, number 75. Penalties half the distance to the goal line. Replay first down.
Let's go back to that last play with Des Bryant. Here it is. There's a coverage and breakdown. And Des Bryant's wide open. He's begging for the ball. Now, this is what he can't do. This is part of the maturation process. You don't show your quarterback up. He's looking left, and he comes over to tell Tony Romo. Romo says, "Look, I'm stepping back and throwing the football. You know, just go to the sideline. Look at Des still." And that's where you just have to stay calm. That quarterback has to pick a side on a throw like that. He picked the left, had a touchdown there too, though. Just missed it.
Ware quickly into the backfield again this time, and Mendenhall was able to get past him, but not much, maybe a yard.
I guess we would have been surprised if Terrence Williams came back to the bench and looked at Romo and go, "Hey, what are you doing? I was wide open. You overthrew me." And that's what he did in college, and one of the reasons why the Cowboys used a third-round draft choice. Remember, he led college football in yards receiving, and he showed you why right away that he can get deep here in the NFL.
Second and long for the Cardinals. Fitzgerald open, underneath, gets past the 15, it'll set up a third and about 4.
You know, when people want to compare Des Bryant to the Larry Fitzgeralds and the Calvin Johnsons out there, and he certainly has a physical ability. But Larry Fitzgerald is a guy, they put him at all three receiver spots. They motion him. They do so many things with him to free him up. Des isn't to that point yet. I do think that Des has as much physical ability, not only as anybody playing today, as anybody I've seen. He has that kind of ability, but until he can be that guy that can move and motion and play different spots. But that being said, I'll take his 92 receptions last year every year.
And Fitzgerald beats Brandon Carr for the first down.
That's the other thing they do with Fitzgerald here. He'll run the slant. He hits. He's so smart. He finds zones. He's on the top of his screen here. And that big body at 6'4". It's good coverage by Brandon Carr. There's no way to get around him to get the football.
Larry Fitzgerald, 764 career receptions in 9 years in the league. That's 14 more than Hall of Famer Michael Irvin. First down at the 26. And some running room for the Cardinals to the left side. A pickup of 7.
You know what the difference is between Michael Irvin and Larry Fitzgerald?
Super Bowls.
Well,
Fitzgerald's been there.
We see a replay here. He went to 1. But Michael Irvin, for his entire career, had Troy Aikman throwing him the football. Here's a guy that Fitzgerald has had over the last couple of years. These are all starters. Derek Anderson, John Skelton, Max Hall, Kevin Cobb, Ryan Lindley, Brian Hoyer. None to be confused with Troy Aikman.
Andre Roberts makes a move to get the first down past Brandon Carr. There's evidence last year for Fitzgerald where he was limited to just 798 yards receiving. That snapped a streak of 6 straight 1,000-yard receiving seasons for Larry Fitzgerald.
The 4 touchdown receptions for Fitzgerald, the fewest he's had. 71 receptions, way down. Although I will say this, if you have a guy that catches 71 balls for 800 yards and 4 touchdowns, you say, not a bad year. But not when it's Larry Fitzgerald. But again, that was a product of the quarterbacking. Or lack thereof.
Arizona calls a timeout here.
Which is why we see Carson Palmer out here today.
They spent some money on Carson Palmer. He's driving the Cardinals down here in the first quarter. For wanted a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to run directly onto the turf of AT&T Stadium and finish on the 50-yard line? You can on Saturday, September 7th at the Cowboys Back to Football 5K Run. Go to NFLFunRunSeries.com/Cowboys for more information. First down for Arizona at the 39-yard line. DeMarcus Ware out of the game. Kyle Wilbers at right defensive end. There he was. Completion to Fitzgerald. Past the 40 inside the Cowboys into the field.
Yeah, there we see Fitzgerald again. That's what I was talking about. He runs every route in the passing tree. This time he's got himself a deep end. He's run the corner. He's run the slant. He's run the hook. That becomes hard to cover when you're not exactly sure where he's going. There's Brandon Carr playing him with the outside technique. Wide open over the middle of the field there. Looking for safety help, didn't get it.
And out to the right side. Running room. Kerry Taylor making his preseason debut.
I don't know if this was part of the defensive plan, but the Cowboys made some interesting substitutions already on their first team defense. DeMarcus Ware, Hatcher, and Sean Lee are out of the game right now. Brandon McGee has been at middle linebacker. Now they've got in Jarris Pendleton and Ben Bass in the middle with Kyle Wilbur at right defensive end.
So much for those 20 plays.
Good test for these players against the first team offense for the Cardinals. Mendenhall on the carry. Jonathan Cooper is the left guard for Arizona. Now he was taken very high in the first round. The Cowboys had their eye on him, but he was gone well before the Cowboys selected. In fact, he was the 7th overall pick. Cowboys were picking at 18.
Yeah, and 5 of those guys that the Cowboys targeted up top went in the first 10 picks. Literally unprecedented. Get back to Jonathan Cooper in a minute.
And running room on the right side to Mendenhall.
Cooper, one of those guys, as you said, Bill, who the Cowboys had targeted. Big left guard out of North Carolina. And when I say big, I guess he started out big. He was 11 pounds, 12 ounces.
Was he really?
How about that? That's not a baby. It's a teenager. His mom had a teenager. He probably walked out of the maternity ward, right?
He now weighs 311 pounds and however many ounces.
Imagine that. They probably say, whatever happened to your little baby? Well, he's 311.
Stephon Taylor, the rookie from Stanford.
His mom actually said all the other newborns were in there, and when the parents would go down to look at their own newborn, they all were looking at Jonathan Cooper because he was in the XXL crib, apparently.
But the Cardinals, like the Cowboys, have had similar problems on their offensive line here in recent years especially, and so they took a guard in Jonathan Cooper with the 7th overall pick, and at the end of the first round, the Cowboys took Travis Frederick. It's a big priority for both teams in the draft. Palmer throwing for the end zone. Pass is knocked away.
Guys, Will Allen's down. I don't know if he got in there to break it up, and I don't know if he hurt his hand or what, but he's down at the 1-yard line.
Mickey Orlando Scandrick is walking towards you, and he's got a finger issue. He just pulled himself out of the game, too. He's going to be attended to by the Cowboys trainers.
The Cowboys don't need another injury issue at safety. Will Allen is the man down at the goal line. Fans, don't forget the Cowboys will be instituting the NFL's new bag policy this year, starting with the first home preseason game next Saturday night at AT&T Stadium. Fans are encouraged to not bring any type of bag into the stadium, but if necessary, small clutch bags the size of your hand and approved clear tote bags are permitted. Of course, the goal is to make game day safer. Visit DallasCowboys.com/bags for more information. Arizona inside the 10-yard line. That was the pass from Palmer to Patrick Peterson, playing some offense for Arizona. As Will Allen was able to head off the field under his own power, but he's being attended to on the Cowboys sideline.
That's Dr. Robert Fowler checking him out here.
Fellas, he got kicked.
Looks like for an
and it looks like it's his ribs. They were worried about his side right there.
And Dr. Fowler, he handles the internal part of things. Dr. Dan Cooper, who's also on the sideline, would be the man for knee or shoulder. So that tells me it's something internal there for Will Allen.
Ball is loose. Cowboys are hoping they have it. as they unstack.
Looks like it's third down.
It's Michael Floyd knocked out by Danny McRae.
Or fourth down, he marked it.
Cardinals did get on it. It's fourth down. The point of emphasis for the Cowboys on defense to get those takeaways, and they came close that time.
Cardinals started with this football at their own 11-yard line. Here we are on fourth down, 14 plays later.
And they go for it on fourth down. At the feet of the intended receiver. And the ball goes over. Trying to hit Rashard Mendenhall coming out of the backfield.
Just a bad throw by Carson Palmer here. Down at the feet, and those are hard for those big backs to reach back and grab.
So the Cowboys take over on offense when we come back to Glendale, Arizona. Get it fast with AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible.
Tony Romo, Bill, is not a guy that typically warms up behind the sideline. Different quarterbacks are different, but he was out on the field throwing after Arizona went on that 8.5-minute drive. It's been a long time since he's thrown a football.
Couldn't get him off the field. But we're going to see a lot of Tony Romo perhaps in the second quarter. Looking for Dez Bryant, and he's got Dez Bryant on Patrick Peterson. How about that back shoulder?
Yeah, that's a good matchup right there, and what a great throw by Romo and a great play by Dez Bryant. Patrick Peterson couldn't cover this any better. What he's looking for here is the back shoulder to turn, that left shoulder of Dez to reach back for the football. When Peterson sees that, then he's got to come back and find the ball, but there's just no defense for that throw.
Wow, what a matchup there with Peterson on Bryant, and he was draped all over him, and Dez still came up with the football. Here's Miles Austin with room to run. Take that.
You hear the Cowboy fans here. That's one, I love the attitude and the aggressiveness that Miles Austin shows, but I'd like to tell them, hey, Miles, you know what? We need you for 16 more of these things, and they're during the regular season. Just a little crossing route here. Romo gives him a good ball. At the end of this, just go ahead, get your yards, get out of bounds.
He sent Curtis Taylor flying. Now DeMarco Murray.
Wow. DeMarco got all fired up about that.
Good thing he was in the tackle box because he lowered his head to make contact there.
Kind of sized him up a little bit, it looked like, too.
And you can do it inside. That's that new rule that the NFL instituted this year. It's when you're outside and directing you drop your head. It's got a number of elements to it. But that's all safe and legal. Well, I don't want to say safe, but it's legal in there. None of it's safe. As soon as you get the ball in your hand, the safety is out the window.
Second and 8 from the 50. Out of the backfield. Lance Dunbar. Lance Dunbar. Almost.
No, he's underground.
Well, the ball comes out at the end. Jasper Brinkley has it.
Arizona's trying to claim they have the football. The officials are talking it over. It was down by contact, and it's a Cowboys football. Tony Romo screaming at his team, let's get up on the ball here because the play clock is ticking down. And Lance Dunbar has himself a spot on this team, and this is why.
And what Romo was trying to do, he's trying to get him to the line and snap it before the red flag, challenge flag came out, but the challenge flag is out. The official closest to the play marked him down, and he got hit, and he came down, and the ball hit the ground when he landed. This will be an interesting review.
Challenge flag was out,
Arizona
and the ball out, too.
On the field, but the runner was down by contact prior to the fumble.
Last play here, Lance Dunbar fumbles the football, and this is going to be Arizona's ball. There you see him tripped up. He's not down yet. Just watch the football. It's coming out right there. He no longer really has possession. So this ball is a loose ball. Now keep your eye on the feet. of the two Arizona Cardinal players here. So they stay in bounds. It's going to be Arizona's ball at the 4-yard line.
That's Jasper Brinkley, number 54, and he stays in bounds with possession of the football,
Yep.
it appears.
I don't think there's any question. Cleet Blakeman, our referee, is going to come back and say it's Arizona's football. Wow, what a great play by Dunbar, but he just didn't finish it.
Cowboys have had a problem early on in this game holding on to the football.
And again, the contact initiated him going to the ground, so the ball would have been dead if he had held on to it. He wouldn't have been able to tumble out of that, get up, run into the end zone. But that ball was out in his arm before he ever hit the ground. So it's going to be a good challenge by Bruce Arians, who, by the way, getting his first head coaching job at the age of 60. Took over as the interim coach last year for Indianapolis Colts when Chuck Pagano had his cancer. Went 9-3 there as the interim head coach and was rewarded again at the age of 60, which is very, very late for a first-time head coach in the NFL.
Prior to that, he was the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just 1 year in Indianapolis for Arians.
By the way, guys, they finished their checkup of Will Allen on the sideline there, and he got kicked in the side and his ribs were hurting, but they say he's okay. I guess structurally he's okay, but I don't know how he feels at this moment.
All right, thanks, Mickey.
Rib injuries are never fun.
You know, had Dunbar still had possession of the football when the elbow hit, he would have been fine. But the ball was coming out.
Yep.
It was coming out.
Gotta love the football, and the Cowboys haven't. The fumble by Dwayne Harris on the punt return. Now this fumble by Lance Dunbar. Again, they have not officially come back. Cleet Blakeman, our referee, has not officially come back and said fumble, but I would just be about shocked if they don't rule it that way. I don't know what's taken so long.
Unless they're just making sure that Arizona had possession.
Well, they only have 60 seconds to get under the hood. They're timed underneath there.
Yep.
Cardinals offense coming back out on the field, so they must know something we haven't been told yet.
Tell us, Cleet.
After review of the play, the runner fumbled the ball, and the ball was recovered clearly by Arizona at the 4-yard line. Therefore, it's Arizona's ball, 1st and 10 from the 4.
They probably were. It took some extra time just to make sure where the ball should be spotted, and he was at the 4-yard line.
Arizona is not charged with the timeout.
Again, 2 costly fumbles by the Cowboys, and all those stats that you see, you get the stats at the end of the game, and there's about 20 different categories. The most important one is turnovers. How many did you have? How many did the other team have? And usually that dictates the winner of the game. Cowboys with 2 so far in this football game.
Second team defense in there all the way around now. That was a Cowboys possession that started at their own 7-yard line and ended at the Arizona 4 with no points.
Arizona now going no huddle here. That was just mashing football right there.
Rashard Mendenhall got 11. And overshoots Andre Roberts.
Boy, it's such a great play by Lance Dunbar, and he turned a heck of a play into a really, really bad play right there.
He even got a pretty good block from Des Bryant.
Bryant. Yeah, sure did.
Carson Palmer not on the same page with Andre Roberts that time, and it's 3rd and 10 from the 15.
Well, I really thought Carson Palmer was going to be, I don't want to say the next Troy Aikman, because that's hard to say, but I really thought he was the same kind of guy. Looked a little bit alike. Big, tall, strong guys. One went to UCLA, one went to USC, both first picks in the draft. But when you're playing in Cincinnati, it's going to be an uphill struggle, and it was for most of Carson Palmer's career there.
Unless you played for Cincinnati right now. 3 straight incompletions. And Arizona will have to punt.
That was strange.
They came out with a vengeance with the run by Mendenhall.
Yeah, and then said, to heck with that.
You know, if they're not on the same page, it's one thing if it's with young receivers, but it's Palmer and Fitzgerald on that one.
Dave Zastadil, boy, he booms this one. Sends Dwayne Harris back to the 25-yard line. And he gets 5 yards on the return to the 30. A 58-yard punt after a 56-yarder earlier. Time to recognize this afternoon's Bank of America Offensive Featured Player of the Game. And today's player is DeMarco Murray. Read more about today's game. Pick up a copy of next week's Star Magazine on newsstands Tuesday. Football fans with Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. And DeMarco Murray is still in there, as is the rest of the first-team offense, as they try again from their own 30. Third possession for Dallas. The fake to Murray, and the throw to the near sideline incomplete. Terrence Williams. Williams missed the first 2 games with concussion-like symptoms, so he's getting his first opportunity this preseason.
Terrence Williams was a little bit slow coming out of that break. He's got to work back to the ball. Took a little too long getting in and out. Romo threw it back down the line, and Terrence Williams was kind of chopping his steps a little bit on that comeback. As he was coming back to the football, he's got to burst to it and then through it.
Arizona keeping that first-team defense out there, just like the Cowboys are keeping the starters in there on offense. And Murray trying the right side, gets about 4.
It's a banged-up offensive line, but they pretty much have, other than left guard, have who I think will be their starters this year. Mackenzie Bernardo back at right guard. Frederick at center. Doug Free, who's played a lot better in this training camp at right tackle.
And first down yardage, Dez Bryant. Move the chains.
Good job here by Dez Bryant of just, this isn't a situation. 3rd and 6, you just want to get the first down. Not a great route by Dez. He's kind of looking into the backfield the whole way. That's where he just needs to sharpen things up. You know, attack the corner, then turn your head and get inside. He just, about first step, started looking at the football. That lets the corner know to start driving on that route.
So part of that just being anxious, knowing that it's probably coming to me.
But hey, the most important thing for a receiver, patience. Got to be patient.
Romo. Bryant.
Now there's a first down. Great job of coming back for the football there, and a great throw by Romo. Dez with just a little simple hook route here, but watch the ball. Romo's thrown away from color. Driving on the inside, he puts it to the right shoulder. Just a perfect throw by Tony Romo. Nice route by Dez Bryant, too. Again, working back for the football.
So once again, the Cowboys into the Cardinals end of the field at the 45. Under pressure is Romo, and he throws it at the feet of Jason Witten, just getting rid of the ball, and there is a flag down.
Tyron Smith is going to get called for the hold here, is my guess.
Holding. Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
That was just a jailbreak. There's Tyron Smith coming to the top of your screen here, and wow.
That was Calais Campbell.
That was ugly. I think they're trying to throw a tight end screen here to Witten. The whole thing on the screen, though, is you count 1,000, 1,000, 2,000, 3, then you let your man go. That was just, hey, have that number 9. Wow.
So 1st and 20 from their own 45 now. Romo with time this time. There's Dez, and there's a first down inside the 30. Ball out again.
Boyd got ripped out from behind.
That's 3.
3 too many.
Well, he's trying to get 2 hands on the football here.
Ball stripped away, and Arizona has it. Cowboys trail the Cardinals 3-0. Is it all about takeaways?
I don't know what's hotter right now. The temperature at 112 outside of the stadium here, or Tony Romo. Very displeased with his offense, as he should be. Telling him, let's get our heads back on our shoulders. How's that?
Or something like
Something
that.
to that effect.
Yeah.
Put those heads back on our shoulders.
We're on a little break here. The official, head official, Clayton Blakeman, is under the roof since it's a turnover. They're reviewing it.
With the change of possession, all change of possession plays are reviewed. And story of the day so far, Dwayne Harris had the fumble on the punt return. Lance Dunbar made a nice run all the way inside the 10-yard line, but coughed it up. Upon further review, the Cardinals had it inbounds. And now this.
Now, one thing you notice too, the ball is sitting toward the defender. You want to get that ball away. Des Bryant loves to put it in that left arm. Well, the defender's coming from his left side there. When you're going left to right, that ball should have been in his right arm. We saw Lance Dunbar try to change arms with the football on his fumble, and I don't think he ever got it secured there. But you hear all about how Rod Marinelli, the Cowboys' defensive line coach and defensive coordinator last year for the Bears, and Monty Kiffin, it's all about takeaways, but it's Arizona that's the one stripping the football in this game.
It was Gerard Powers.
After the review of the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It was a fumble and recovery by Arizona. First down, Arizona.
Gerard Powers, the cornerback, with the forced fumble, and Jasper Brinkley came up with his second of the day in the recovery.
And here's what you tell your team. Hey, the plays are good, execution's good, everything's great. Now we just got to hang on to the football. That's when it's hard to grade your offense.
And the Cardinals taking over at their own 24.
And I say it's hard to grade your offense, Bill. It's hard, and by the same token, it's easy. If you turn it over, you're not going to win many football games, and they know that. The interesting thing to me is there is such an emphasis now with this Cowboys defense during practice on stripping the football. I think it makes your offense better. So this should not be a surprise for these Cowboys players trying to hang on to the ball.
Drew Stanton now in there at quarterback for Arizona.
Looks like the majority of their second offense also.
And big time running room. That's Alfonso Smith. Got 10 yards.
Most of the Cowboys' second teamers in there now again. There's Sterling Morrissey trying to rip it off. Number 21 trying to get that football out, get it back for his offense, much like Arizona's defense has done it.
Bruce Arians really likes Drew Stanton. Had him at Indianapolis, he was the backup to Andrew Luck last year. He looked good last week against Green Bay. Overshoots his intended target with Devontae Holloman covering the tight end DC Jefferson, rookie 7th round draft pick.
Drew Stanton, a second rounder out of Michigan State. Matt Millen's last draft in Detroit. Now, one day he's going to be able to tell his grandchildren, hey, you never guess who I got to play with. And that was the number 1 pick in the draft in Detroit, Matthew Stafford. Then the number 1 pick in the draft in Andrew Luck last year. Now it's the number 1 pick from 2003 in Carson Palmer. The problem is you're playing behind him. 3 number 1 overall picks that he's been on the same team with. Usually you don't win that battle.
For much of the offseason, he probably thought that he'd be the starter here, but then the late trade was made with Oakland on the time of the draft. And there's a first completion for Stanton. Jaron Brown, rookie free agent out of Clemson, who had a nice night last weekend in Green Bay.
And you mentioned Bruce Arians and bringing Drew Stanton with him from Indianapolis. Bruce Arians, another offensive coordinator, longtime offensive coordinator, now the head coach. No fullbacks on this roster as well. They've got 7 tight ends, no fullbacks, much like the Cowboys. 6 tight ends for the Cowboys. Again, no fullbacks. It's a disappearing position.
open over the middle. First down. Third down conversion. And that's Kerry Taylor.
Just a little too much time and a little too big of a hole there. Stanton with all day to throw the football. Not even a great route by the receiver here. Kind of rounded in there. Not a real definitive route. But they have the hookup for the first down.
Pick up at 25 yards. And Arizona is moving it. The backup in there at quarterback. Here comes Devontae Holloman. Ball is out.
And it's sideways. That's a fumble.
I come up with it. And finally, Kyle Wilbur does. That's a takeaway.
Wow. Kyle Wilbur, come on. The old rule of thumb is big guys fall on it, little guys run with it, and that's why.
Devontae Holloman came clear, forced it, and Kyle Wilbur finally got it. Bill Jones with Babe Laufenberg as the Cowboys only trailed this one 3-0 with the 3 giveaways. Seems like it's been worse than that, but they have a takeaway, and Kyle Wilbur came up with it.
Can it be any worse? 3.5? We've still got 7 minutes left. They're good for another one here before the half ends. Shoot, now let me say this. You know how hot the head coach is right now. His hair is turning red.
He looks like he's smiling to me.
Okay, his hair is turning red, his face is turning red, all of it. He's smiling now. Come on, coach, look at Romo. But if I'm a young guy, I'm sitting there saying, okay, when I touch that ball, I'm not letting it out. Watch Des Bryant here, though, again. He's running. Oh, excuse me, this is the last play.
Yes,
Devontae Holloman comes unblocked.
Coming clear.
Yeah, you should get the sack there, shouldn't you?
Now, this should be a scoop and scoop, but first you got to come up with the football.
That's a scoop and poop, I think, right there is what that is. Look at that. Finally, he just said, okay, I better just fall on it. And he's going to take some heat.
Yes, he will.
In the film room, is he not?
Not supposed to dribble the football, right?
Now he needs oxygen.
And by the way,
he ran a long way.
By the way, Blakeman is back under the hood, change of possession. He's reviewing the fumble that was ruled.
I think he's just getting a chuckle out of watching Kyle Wilbur try to pick it up.
He just wanted to go watch that again.
He's got cartoons in there, I think.
I think he's out of breath from trying to pick it up, not from anything else he's doing here. He's actually playing pretty well behind DeMarcus Ware over there.
And talk about making the conversion. He was, of course, a 3-4 outside linebacker last year, a rookie season out of Wake Forest. Played a lot of 3-4 at Wake Forest as well. And he's made the conversion to his hand on the ground, a 4-3 defensive end.
Here we go.
After review of the play, the quarterback's hand was coming forward when he lost possession. Therefore, by rule, is an incomplete pass. To be Arizona's ball, 2nd and 10 from the 37. Reset the game clock to 7 minutes, 19 seconds. 7:19.
So much for that takeaway.
Well, that was odd. The quarterback's arm was going forward, but the ball went backwards.
That's what I don't.
So
we're going to take another look at it. Arizona.
I'm not so sure about that.
The ball was still in his hand, wasn't it, when he got hit?
Yep.
Yeah, it appeared that the arm, it was the old empty hand rule.
And the ball landed literally 10 yards behind him.
I will defer to referee Clete Blakeman here because he had a good look and they're up on their rules, but I'll get that one explained to me later, how the ball went backward.
It's a backwards pass.
And the arm.
Now he wanted to throw it forward,
sure,
but it went backwards.
Well, we all want to do a lot of things in life, Phil, that don't happen, okay? Want me to start my list?
We don't have time.
Yeah.
Third down, incomplete. Looking for Alfonso Smith, Danny McCray covering.
Drew Stanton has seen quite enough of Devontae Holloman. Holloman comes and blitzes again, and no one picks him up the middle. He forces Stanton to throw it a little bit earlier than he would have liked. That pressure up the middle will always do that to you. That brings out the kicker. The Arizona missed 3 field goals last week against Green Bay. Probably the only real negative they had in that football game.
So Jay Feely, ball set down at the 44-yard line, and it is good. Jay Feely from long distance. And it's 6-0 Arizona with 6:34 to play here in the first half. Cowboys fans, here's your chance to win a gas-saving Ford Fusion Hybrid. Go to drivecleanacrosstexas.org to sign up, get tips on how to keep the air clean and save money at the pump. A message from the Texas Department of Transportation.
Jason Garrett getting an explanation over on the Cowboys sideline from Clete Blakeman. Don't know if it was entirely to his satisfaction. This Cowboys kickoff return team gets ready here, but he just had a little powwow with the officials, undoubtedly saying, how can it be a forward pass when the ball went behind the quarterback?
But
again, I'll defer to Clete Blakeman. They are up on the rules, and I'll get the answer to that one, and we'll figure it all out.
Because you can throw with your arm going forward, you can throw a sideways pass or a backwards pass. Ball went backwards. Anthony Armstrong and Lance Dunbar deep for the Cowboys here as Jay Feely tees it up. 54-yard field goal by Feely.
So I see Lance Dunbar back here. I'm trying to think of a Cowboy now that doesn't need to atone for his sins. Kyle Wilbur, Des Bryant, Dwayne Harris, and Lance Dunbar.
Out of the end zone. So Kyle Wilbur has to? You came up with the football.
Well, yeah, and it didn't count anyway, as it turned out.
So instead of starting in Arizona's end of the field, Kyle Orton will start at his own 20-yard line. His first time in there. 8 of 9 this preseason for 77 yards is the veteran Orton.
Kyle Orton is saying, hey, I don't know if you guys were paying attention to what happened before we came out here, but let's not fumble the football.
First team offensive line remains in the game.
3 tight ends.
And Dunbar to the outside. Got past the 20-yard line. Tony Romo.
Big look back on his day. This was that throw to Des Bryant. He and Des Bryant again just clicking. The only ball Romo really missed was a deep route to Terrence Williams. And there you see Miles Austin get this team fired up here. A little slant to Des on 3rd and 6 for the first down. Overall, pretty efficient day for Romo there. There you see big numbers there. 7 completions, 142 yards.
14 yards an attempt for Romo. Orton straight drop. And not on the same page with James Hanna.
James Hanna just back to practice this past week, and he comes out of his route. Gets cut off a little bit here, but he's got to keep running through that football. I don't know if he didn't think he was getting the football. There he said 84 on the left side of your screen. Orton throws the corner route here, and James Hanna had pulled up on the route for some reason.
Cardinals still have their first teamers in on defense for the most part. Patrick Peterson still in the game, playing left cornerback.
All right, can you pass protect? This will be Lance Dunbar here locked up in protection in the backfield.
3rd and 8. Had time, but it's picked. At the 30-yard line, that's the 4th turnover of the first half of the Cowboys offense. It's Gerard Powers.
Orton just never saw him. That's a corner just peeling off here. The one thing you look at here, you look to the outside. Don't look at the receiver. You know he's running the out. Orton needs to look from the outside back in. What happened there, the corner just comes off. He knows he has help. He pulls back in looking for that out route, and Orton never sees him. Again, look outside, look to your left, all the way to the sideline. When that corner peels off, you throw it over the top of his head. If he runs with the wide receiver to the left, then you come inside, you throw the out route to the slot. Norton says, yeah, I know what happened.
And if Powers didn't pick it off, it looked like the defender covering Hannah was going to pick it off.
So great field position for the Cardinals, and Drew Stanton. Alfonso Smith picks up 3. Ferris Pendleton in on the stop. 2nd and 7 for Arizona. 4 turnovers for Dallas. 1 was on special teams, and then 3 in the offense.
Kyle Orton going over the photos. Now they snap those pictures and send them on down. They don't even have to send them down anymore. It's right there on the sideline. Orton says, I don't need to see it again. You know? I love it. Either that or they're showing their baby pictures. I don't know. What do you think? Scrapbook, Bill? That's what I did in high school.
Sterling Moore coming on the blitz. They beat the blitz inside the 10. And that's Kerry Taylor again.
That blitz is a wonderful thing until you don't get there. Almost looked like Cowboys could have been flagged for a shot to the head of Stanton at the end of this thing here. Yeah. That's Sterling Moore, and it should have been a penalty, quite honestly. Watch Sterling Moore's right arm come up to the head here of Drew Stanton. That's going to be a penalty every time. But not today.
So from the 6, 1st and goal for Stanton and the Cardinals.
Sacked.
George Selby.
George Selby, 2 sacks in the Hall of Fame game. 1 here today, and Stanton's just holding. Right here. Okay, get it out.
Selby certainly needed that. You mentioned, Babe, he had 2 sacks in the Hall of Fame game, and then he disappeared Friday night against the Raiders, and he got an opportunity to start, and he's still in there with the backup. So he needed to show up if he was going to convince them to make this 53-man roster.
Losses 6, 2nd and goal from the 12. Back to the end zone and off the fingertips of Kerry Taylor.
Oh, Drew Stanton had him too. Just a little bit wide. He knows it too. Look at him saying, gosh, just a little seam route there. Just stick it right on his numbers. So close. So far. Not an awful throw. Missed him by about 6 inches was all. But it was enough.
So a 4-point play here on 3rd and goal from the 12. Cowboys try to keep him to a field goal. Stanton with time for the end zone, incomplete again. And Brandon McGee dropping from his linebacker post to cover.
If nothing else, the Cowboys will be happy that on these Arizona drives and giving up 4 turnovers, they've managed to keep them to field goals for a field goal attempt here. That's Brandon McGee. He's been good this training camp. Not a big guy, not exceptionally fast when you time him, but knows how to play football, and I think he's beaten down the door for a roster spot, Bill.
And he went to school right here.
Yes, he did.
Arizona State. Jay Feely, no good from 30. He made a 54-yarder last time, the veteran Jay Feely. And it's still 6-0. Outside, it's pushing 112 degrees, and it's pushing that on the Cowboys sideline as heated as some of the conversations have been in this first half.
It is so ridiculously hot here. Texas is going to feel like Oxnard.
Where it was in the 60s, right?
It was indeed.
From the 20, completion to Gavin Escobar. Makes the catch.
Want to go back here to the interception. If we hold it right here, it's an out route here. Clear to the outside. The only guy that Kyle Orton needs to read is right here. This is good for all quarterbacks to watch. As you see it come up, just watch the corner. You know you guys running out. He stares down the out route, never sees the corner come off of the wide receiver.
Now there's Terrence Williams. Falls down a yard short of the first down at the 29.
Again, real basic play, and any kids out there playing Middle school, high school, college, pro, doesn't matter. You got an out route by your inside receiver and it cleared to the outside. The only guy you need to watch is that corner. He's the only one that takes that away. So look outside, move your eyes back to the inside. You know where your guy's going.
3rd and less than a yard. Lance Dunbar is the back. Going deep down the sideline, overshoots Terrence Williams out of bounds, and the Cowboys will be forced to punt.
Boy, 3rd and a yard. Jason Garrett just can't haul that. He can't throw the ball up the field on 3rd and a yard. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We have a new villain.
I thought they might just test to see if they could get a yard on 3rd and short.
With Lance Dunbar in the backfield there, I just had a feeling they wouldn't be running the ball, but...
You put Tanner in for that.
Yeah.
So Chris Jones. A left-footed punt. Short. Hits inside the 40, and it's down by Kyle Wilbur, who catches the football at the 34-yard line. 37-yard punt. Your chance to win like a pro is here with the 2013 Dallas Cowboys scratch-off ticket from the Texas Lottery. Pick one up and get in the game. The Texas Lottery. .228 to play here in the red zone. Glendale, Arizona. Drew Stanton back out there as Arizona takes over at its own 35. Not much running room, but making the most of it to the 36 or so. Cowboys swarm him. Stephon Taylor. Boy, what a career he had at Stanford out of Mansfield High School.
Carried the football 20 times last week against Green Bay. I don't know if I've ever seen a running back have 20 carries in the preseason.
First game of the preseason for Arizona. Well, that's sort of what he did at Stanford time and time again, as we are to the 2-minute warning here in the first half. Cowboys trailing it 6-0 against the Cardinals. Cardinals lead the Cowboys 6-0 with 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Cowboys have turned the ball over 4 times in the first half.
Total yardage almost exactly equal. Arizona has 170, Dallas 167, but those 4 turnovers, it's amazing you're even in this ball game at 6-0. Hard to score when you don't have the football.
Or when you're coughing it up. Drew Stanton on 2nd and 9. Nice move by Nick Hayden to put pressure on him. Jim Dre, the tight end, with the catch, and Brandon McGee and Danny McCray defend.
Get a little work on your 2-minute defense here, Bill. We saw the Cowboys practice it a ton, offense and defense, obviously, in Oxnard, and here you get a chance to put it to use.
3rd and 2, dump it off. Taylor got the first down.
Got the first down and got himself out of bounds, most importantly.
1:34 to go. At the 47, a pickup of 4.
Cowboys have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, Arizona with 2. Such an important part of your offense. So many points are scored or allowed in the final 2 minutes of each half. That if you're not good on 2-minute offense or good on 2-minute defense, it can cost you some games.
Ben Bass. The man from Plano West High School in Texas A&M, Ben Bass, gets the sack.
Ben Bass just keeps coming too. He's had an ankle problem, a knee problem, shows up on the practice field where you think, okay, you won't see Ben Bass out there tomorrow. There he is, number 79.
Dallas takes its first timeout. Please put 1 minute, 28 seconds on the game clock.
Monty Kiffin always says, Brad or Bill, most important thing, got to show up. Got to show up. And Ben Bass shows up.
He's been showing up. You know, he only made 1 start in his career at Texas A&M. His last year at A&M, appeared in 13 games, just 1 start. We've invited you to send us your Instagram pictures Hashtag Cowboys Nation. Perhaps Ben Bass family is going to send theirs.
Sure, why not? They should be proud.
Show us where you're watching the game. Send us your Cowboys picks. 2nd and long for Stanton. Going over the middle. Boy, what a first half for Kerry Taylor, a man from Arizona State, inside the 25-yard line, a pickup of 33 yards.
Good throw by Stanton, trying to get his guys lined up now. They need to work in the 2-minute as well.
And dragging a player, it's Jim Dre, Devontae Holloman on his back. Timeout, Arizona. He was rolled down inbounds.
Arizona.
I really thought Devontae Holloman at the end of this thing, Bill, was going to poke this out. It's a perfect opportunity to come in and just push up with that right arm. Get that right arm up there and poke it. Guarantee you that ball would have come out.
Now Dre did have the ball tucked on the far side from the defender.
There we go. Big key.
He had it high and tight also. Check out DallasCowboys.com. Make sure to download the Dallas Cowboys official app for up-to-the-minute news. DallasCowboys.com. All Cowboys, all day, every day. Less than a minute to play here in the first half. A reminder, Mickey Spagnola will be talking with Jason Garrett as the team heads off the field at halftime. First down from the 12. Under pressure with Stanton, throws it away. He took a hit from Jerome Long.
Wow, big hit. That one hurt too. You get that arm raised up, and that helmet and shoulder pads come into your rib cage.
And you're sitting over on the bench with Will Allen with a rib injury.
That is not fun. They didn't block him. I don't know what pass protection exactly that was. It doesn't account for your defensive end there, but
it's the lookout block.
That's the one they had going there.
So 2nd and 10. Over the middle, Holloman. Devontae Holloman with the dive, and yes, he comes up with it. 2nd interception in 3 NFL preseason games for the Cowboys' 6th-round draft pick out of South Carolina.
He always seems to be making a play, and he makes one here. Just good awareness, and look at him come in for that football. Nice reception, as you mentioned, went 75 yards in his first ever NFL game against Miami in the Hall of Fame game. Now they'll probably take a look and review this, but no need. Clean
That's what you thought about the last Cowboys takeaway.
Yeah, of which he was a part of. He forced the fumble.
That's right.
He forced the fumble.
He's a playmaker.
The fumble that wasn't a fumble, as it turns out.
That's right.
Like the old Seinfeld episode, the offer that really isn't an offer.
So with 47 seconds left, see if the Cowboys can dig out of this hole. There's Dwayne Harris. He's brought down by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, at the 13-yard line. Pick up a 9.
How did LSU not win a national championship like a whole bunch? Somebody give me Les Miles.
Alabama was in their conference.
Somebody give me Les Miles on the phone.
And they didn't have this guy last year, you remember?
Well, they didn't.
Number 32.
But they had Patrick Peterson, and all on the same team, though.
They won it one
Matthew
year.
And Claiborne and Patrick Peterson.
They won it in 07, beat Ohio State.
Third-year safety here. You know, you look. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding about that. I know in Alabama, but you just look at and the secondary, and you wonder why Danny McCray didn't start with from the Cowboys.
Right.
And here's LSU guy, and everybody's like, why are you playing a guy that couldn't even start at LSU? Well, my goodness.
And here's Danny McCray in his 5th year in the league, special teams captain on an NFL team. Couldn't start at LSU.
All these top 10 draft picks over there at LSU on defense in the secondary.
Orton has time, and there's Lance Dunbar. Gets to the sideline and out of bounds.
And hold on to the football.
Everyone was thinking that, Mickey, as he was running with it.
Sorry.
Most especially number 25, Lance Dunbar.
Yep.
A little bit gimpy coming back into the huddle, but that's a play you design. And if you can get a one-on-one shot with Lance Dunbar on a linebacker, it's going to be over. and this one was. That's Dunbar just coming out of the backfield. Linebacker has no chance here.
Well, you're seeing it more and more in this league where teams can use the small, quick back out of the backfield. Orton heaves it downfield, and it's picked off. Tony Jefferson, the rookie undrafted player out of Oklahoma, Tony Jefferson with the interception. And that's 5 turnovers in 1/2 for the Cowboys.
Mickey, I think I know what the head coach is going to talk to you about when you get him before the half here.
You think I need to ask him that question?
What do you think about your team's execution? I'm all for it. This ball just never turned over. It came out of Orton's hands funky. That ball usually goes up with the point up and then comes point down. And this ball like had the landing gear out. The back end of the football just never turned over. Got thrown to the inside. Somehow Orton didn't.
Can I say this?
Almost slipped.
Can I say
anything you want?
I don't understand why Tony Jefferson wasn't drafted. He was not drafted, and after 3 years at Oklahoma where he made play after play. And now, inside the 25 with 15, 14, 13 seconds left to the 21-yard line, quickly up. Charles Hawkins on the receiving end. They'll clock it with 7 seconds left.
Arizona trying to save that one time out. With 7 seconds here and this far out, I think I just sent my kicking team out.
See if Bruce Arians agrees with that.
Yeah. So far, offense is staying on the field. I just hate to give up 3, and you see it happen time and again. This far, it's one thing if you're at the 5-yard line. Stanton's got to know this time, ball's got to come out of my hand.
Going for the end zone and out of bounds, and with 2 seconds left, they'll have time to get the field goal unit on. Jay Feely will try again.
And when I say the ball's got to come out of his hand, you see 2 seconds remaining. If you sit there and move around and scramble a little bit, there goes your 2, and you never get your field goal team on the field.
Especially how high he threw the ball. By the time the ball came down, the clock almost ran out.
So, Jay Feely, this time from 40. Hits this one true. 3 field goals for Feely in 4 attempts in the first half. And as the clock winds down here in the first half, the Cowboys trail 9-0. They gave it up 5 times on turnovers in the first half. Trail it 9-0 at the half. Tony Romo heads off. Not the best of days for the Cowboys on offense, to say the least. And Mickey Spagnola's tracking down Jason Garrett right now. And let's go down to Mickey.
Hate to be obvious, man, but I guess 5 turnovers and a half, not real good.
Yeah, you know, it's remarkable how well our defense has played. I think it's 9-0. We gave them the ball 5 additional times. So everybody's been guilty. It happened on special teams. 2 fumbles on offense and then 2 interceptions. So I thought our defense did a good job really hunkering down and playing good red zone defense, holding them to field goals. You know, you have to play winning football. It starts with the ball. We didn't do that in the first half.
So I guess this gives you another teaching tool when you get back to practice.
It's a great teaching moment because I think we're playing hard. We're aggressive. Guys are all over the field. But if you don't take care of the football, you have no chance to be successful.
Thanks a lot, Jason.
Okay,
appreciate it. And guys, by the way, Danny McCray ended up getting his helmet jammed into his eye and it was twitching. He should be okay, but that's why he came out of the game.
All right, thanks, Mickey. And that Jason Garrett interview brought to you by Volkswagen, the Volkswagen Best Thing Ever event. Visit VWDealer.com. Halftime here in Arizona, 9-0 Cardinals. Much more still to come. And now this from your local station. Alex Tenney looks for an opportunity in the second half as the Cowboys trail Arizona 9-0. Nothing on the scoreboard. A lot of turnovers. Cowboys have given it away 5 times. Jay Feely has 3 field goals. He tees things up here. So the Cowboys will try to make something happen here in the second half. Joseph Randall is deep for Dallas. Bill Jones with Babe Laufenberg. Happy you could join us on a Saturday afternoon back home in Texas. Cowboys hoping for a better second half from 7 yards deep in the end zone. Doesn't make the 15-yard line, Joseph Randle. The Miller Lite first half stats: 14-6 in first downs in favor of the Cardinals. Rushing yards, Cardinals. Passing yards about even. Turnovers, not close. Time of possession, not close. But the score is only 9-0. From the 14-yard line, Joseph Randle takes a big hit as he gets a yard. By the way, Devontae Holloman, as you know, did have an interception, so it's 5-1 as far as the turnovers go. And Alex Tenney gets the third quarterback role this week over Nick Stevens.
Telling our folks at halftime, along with Stephen Jones here, kind of excited to watch him play. Now, he played the Hall of Fame game. This is a guy that was signed by the Cowboys literally when they started training camp, so he had no offseason work. He was trying to pick up the offense. Talked to both he and Jason Garrett. They both said he's come a long way just in those last 2 weeks since that Hall of Fame game.
Randle makes a nice move to get a few yards, gets 4, going to set up a third and about 5.
Let's not sell the Cowboys short when they do get their takeaway. Okay?
That's right.
I mean, when you only have one, you got to give them some credit.
Now, Curtis Taylor came out of that pile up with the football.
You know, the nice thing about seeing Alex here at this point, he knows he's going to have the majority of the second half, if not all of it. So here it is, 3rd and 5. Don't do anything stupid. It's not like you're getting the last 3 minutes of the football game. There's a challenge flag down now. It's not like you're getting the last 3 minutes, and if you don't make something happen, you'll never see the ball again. If the smart play is dumping it off and punting, then that's what you do.
So Bruce Arians throws the red flag, and he wants a 6th takeaway. They're going to review it, it would appear.
Arizona attempted to challenge the ruling on the field that the runner's forward progress has stopped. That is not a challengeable play. We'll continue with 3rd down.
Not reviewable. But we're going to take a timeout anyway. 9-0. Arizona leads it early in the 3rd. Dallas Cowboys football is back, and you can see it live at AT&T Stadium. Single game tickets and party passes are available for most 2013 home games. Go to DallasCowboys.com or call 1-800-745-3000 for tickets. 3rd and 5 for Alex Tenney and the Cowboy offense from their own 19-yard line. Here come the Cardinals, and over the middle, Dwayne Harris has a first down to the 34-yard line, pick up a 15.
Nice job by Harris out of the slot right. Looked a little bit like Miles Austin. That's kind of Miles' signature route over there. They just set him to the slot in the left side of your screen there. Just runs a little slant, gets inside the corner.
Running
picks
away,
up first down.
Running away from Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger there in the slot.
Honey Badger's dead. You don't call him that anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. Got the Honey Badger police on the sidelines, Vicky. Randle, not much running room.
Babe, you're the rules guy. Isn't it a penalty if you challenge something that's not challengeable?
Well, we were just discussing that up here. However, what could have happened, as we discussed,
okay,
if the whistle had blown, then that ends the play. So they may have come over to him and said, hey, the whistle blew, therefore we called forward progress down.
Oh, because he announced it as we're challenging forward progress.
He explained it that way, but they may not have said we're challenging the forward progress. They may have said we just think it was a fumble.
Thank you.
Travis Frederick still in the game here in the second half.
Offense, number 68, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
In fact, the first team offense, Tyron Smith and Doug Free, the tackles, still in there, working into the 3rd quarter, their longest stint so far. Mackenzie Bernardo still at right guard and David Arkin at left guard.
I asked Alex Tanney, who's again, the third quarterback here today going into the football game. What happens is he doesn't get to work with Des Bryant much. It's always ones and twos and twos. I said, who do you like? Who's the guy that you've got a little rapport with? And he said that Tim Benford. That's number 16. So see if they have a little hookup.
Steps up and finds Gavin Escobar, the second-round draft pick, the tight end out of San Diego State, with his second reception of the game.
Not a bad guy to find either there. And once Escobar, with that 6'6" frame, walls a guy off, you can have a hard time going through him. Escobar doing a nice job. He said, look, I've seen too many guys fumble. Watch him get his arms around that football.
That's not a bad player that Escobar is working on, too. That's Darrell Washington out of TCU and Irving High School, who made the Pro Bowl last year.
Yeah, who will serve a 4-game suspension when this season starts.
Third down. In trouble, Tanny, and he goes down. Zach Nash.
Not much Tanny could do with this one. When the pressure comes up the middle, and watch 62 on the left side of your screen, David Arkin. He just can't get his man. Arizona runs a little stunt there where they're crossing up the two players. Arkin getting held a little bit trying to get to his man, but can't do it.
The man formerly known as the Honey Badger is deep for this. Punt. A high punt. Matthew, ever fearless. Well, he's a playmaker, but he's not going anywhere this time. 43-yard punt for Jones. Living Social. Discover great deals on the best of your city. Sign up for free at livingsocial.com. So Arizona takes over on offense for the first time.
Cowboys didn't get much started there, did they?
Nope.
3 and out.
And Stanton staying in the game at quarterback. Not much on the ground for Stephon Taylor. Taylor had 3 1,000-yard rushing seasons at Stanford.
Cowboys liked him coming out of this draft. 5'9", 216. Arizona ended up taking him in the 5th round, which is where the Cowboys, of course, got their running back Joseph Randall.
He was very productive, but did not have good time speed. Ran like a 4.7 at the Combine and Pro Day.
And he was off the board by the time the Cowboys picked him that 5th round.
Cameron Lawrence, undrafted player out of Mississippi State.
Almost had himself an interception here, did he not? Broke on the ball nicely. Good job of knocking it down.
Looks like Anthony Armstrong took a blow to the head, and Dr. Fowler's sitting there kind of giving him the little test with his finger, and he's got to follow it with his eyes.
He was groggy Mickey on that punt return there. He got up slowly.
Stanton with plenty of time to throw it over the middle, has his man for a first down up near midfield. That's Jerron Brown.
Just an in route again, and Arizona's kind of exploited the Cowboys on this deep in route like this here. Good catch at the end of this by Brown. Good hit by a young man trying to make the team for the Cowboys, Jeff Heath, who probably people know very little about, but he is pushing for a roster spot.
Out of Saginaw Valley State, the undrafted player Jeff Heath, number 38.
And when you're undrafted and you're from Saginaw Valley State, people tend to not know about you. But he's got to make his presence felt in camp. You know, he came in here and you just thought he was another guy to round out camp, but he's done a nice job on special teams. Seems to have a little bit of a nose for the football.
And making the most of an opportunity. Matt Johnson got hurt a couple of weeks ago. J.J. Wilcox has not been here this week due to the death of his mom. By the way, the funeral today in Georgia. He'll return as soon as he is ready this coming week. Stephon Taylor with some running room, and that's a first down for Arizona.
Stephon Taylor's getting another workout here. Again, I mentioned 20 carries last week against Green Bay, and I can't remember the last time a back had 20 carries in the preseason.
Here's the other thing about Taylor. He didn't miss a game in college at Stanford. He stays healthy.
Maybe that's why he ended up being their all-time leading rusher.
Yeah. He can run between the tackles.
Bill Babe, he's from Mansfield. He told me an interesting story at the Senior Bowl. He was getting all these recruiting letters from the different colleges, and he kept getting something from Stanford. He kept throwing them in the trash and throwing them in the trash. And his counselor came up to him and said, "Hey, you getting any of these letters?" He goes, "Yeah, I keep getting this letter from Stanford, but I got no interest in going to an Ivy League school."
Yeah.
And the counselor said, "What are you talking about? It's on the West Coast."
Yeah.
And the rest is history, right?
Might be an Ivy League type education.
Whoa.
There's a fumble. Jerron Brown is able to come up with it, and that's a loss of yardage.
And I must say, usually if they don't know that Stanford is not an Ivy League school, you don't get by the admissions department. Another rumbling, bumbling, stumbling play. Just a bad exchange here.
Jeff Heath tracking though.
It looked like Jerron Brown had no idea that he was going to, or no idea he was going to get the football. He thought it was going to be a fake, I think.
It was like, do I put the left elbow up, right elbow up? How do I receive this?
Here comes the blitz. Big hit. Brandon Underwood. Not much there.
Nice job of holding on to the football at the end of this. And we heard Jason Garrett tell Mickey at halftime about how you turn it over 5 times and you only give up 9 points. It's credit to the defense, and once again the defense rising up here. Underwood with the big hit there. On
Dan Buckner, former Allen Eagle, who finished up his college career at the University of Arizona after starting it at the University of Texas. Played on the Longhorns 2009 team that made it to the national championship game. Zastudil, flag is down in the backfield. Zastudil, boy, he does that time and time again. In fact, last season, 46 punts downed inside the 20, an NFL record.
This one's inside the 2, but there is a flag down. Clete Blakeman back in where the punting area is. He's going to go over and talk it over with Jason Garrett here now. He's giving him the option apparently on what they want to do. Explaining his options to him.
Well, if one option is you get the ball at the 2-yard line, that's not a very good option.
That's Rich Bisaccia there beside Garrett there in the white shirt. Cowboys' new special teams coach, and a good one, by the way.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, kicking team number 26. A 15-yard penalty will be assessed from the previous spot and will re-kick.
There's Rich Bisaccia there. Cowboys special teams coordinator, replacing Joe DeCamillis this year. He was in Tampa with Marinelli and Monty Kiffin during the time, and was out in San Diego, and now the Cowboys have him, and I think he's going to do a heck of a job for the Cowboys in an area where they needed help, quite honestly. They had not been very good.
Zastudil will try it again.
Wow.
High kick, and B.W. Webb elects this time to get out of the way of that one.
That was a moonshot.
It was.
Better not bring that into AT&T Stadium, or it's going to hit the big screen.
That's exactly right. Cowboys will take over deep in their own end of the field when we come back. Cowboys trail 9-0 here in the third quarter. Time for a Sony Sounds of the Game with Travis Frederick.
Kind of a cerebral player, somebody that goes out there and tries to figure out what's going on before it actually happens. I think that kind of helps you get one step ahead. But after that, once the snap count is going and we're playing, I try and be as physical as I can out there, and hopefully go and push some guys around.
The Sony Sound of the Game, and nothing there for the Cowboys in the running attack with the second team offensive line in there. Joseph Randall. Sony believe that anything you can imagine you can make real. Make Doc believe.
Travis Frederick, he's a smart kid, that's for sure. Actually, one of the Cowboys' assistant coaches, Dave Borgonzi, was recruiting him when Borgonzi was at Harvard. So that tells you a little something. By the way, Bill, I don't know if you know this, Harvard is an Ivy League school. I don't mean to be condescending. That means talking down to you, by the way.
Thanks, Babe. Tanny steps up, avoids the rush, and it's a pickup of about 3 yards to Dwayne Harris.
That's what I love about Tanny. He steps back up into the pocket. Usually you see guys go out the back end of the pocket, and unless you've got the speed of a Michael Vick, you're not going anywhere there except for getting a bigger sack. But he stepped up, then bounced out to the right side. Nice job. Didn't pick up a whole lot of yardage, but on the positive end rather than the sack.
Yep, and it says a lot for a first-year guy out of Monmouth College, which is not an Ivy League school.
Yes. Sacked on the 3rd and 6 play, his only other third down play. We'll see what he does on 3rd and 8.
Kenny Rowe at the pressure. Over the middle. First down. Is that his favorite target?
That's his man.
Tim Benford. He went to his security blanket when he was in trouble.
Isn't that funny? And again, a good job by Tanny. Good pocket presence, and he's got a little chance now. Nice job of just sidestepping, staying inside. Delivers a good ball. And again, it just happens a bunch where that backup quarterback gets a rhythm and timing with the backup receivers. Those are the guys you stay after practice with and throw, because you don't get the reps during practice that the starter gets or even the number 2 guy gets. And he said, Benford's my guy.
Demetrius Bell, number 74, the right tackle, having some problems over there containing Kenny Rowe.
Offense, number 17, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, that's not good for Dwayne Harris.
This afternoon's Bank of America defensive featured player of the game. How about Sean Lee? Middle of that Cowboys 4-3 defense now. Read more about today's game. Pick up a copy of next week's Star Magazine on newsstands Tuesday. Football fans with Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Toss left. Randall runs out of room and out of bounds. And let's go down to the sideline in Mickey Spagnola.
Have Sean Lee with me here, the first team defense, specifically yourself. Wasn't out there very long, but you had to be happy with how you guys performed.
Yeah, I thought we had a couple good plays. We obviously have more room to improve. We have to find a way to get more turnovers. We were out there. We weren't able to get the ball out. We pride ourselves on getting turnovers, and if we want to be a great defense, we're going to have to, even if it's a short amount of plays, find a way to get a turnover.
Was that the game plan for just play a few plays like that, or were you surprised that you and DeMarcus and Jason Hatcher came out so quickly?
I think it was the game plan. I think we've been putting in good work. I think we still have a lot of work to do, and it's going to be nice. We're going to have to put a ton of work in when we get back to Dallas, but that was the game plan from the start.
Okay, we appreciate you, Sean. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot for having me.
All right, thanks, Mickey. And we're back to Glendale, Arizona in a moment. Appreciate you being a part of this afternoon's telecast by sending us your pictures using the hashtag Cowboys Nation on Twitter or Instagram. You are featured as the Cowboys take on the Cardinals. Send us pics of how you're enjoying watching the game. Alex Tanney with a second down and long. Has his big tight end, Gavin Escobar, and that'll make it short, third and manageable.
Alex Tanney now 5 for 5 on the afternoon for 56 yards. Not a bad day's work there.
Babe, we know he's been pretty accurate in training camp. Give me a scouting report on his arm strength and his release.
Yeah, I think his arm strength is good. Accuracy is good, Nick. I really do think he has a chance. That's not to be a starter or whatnot, but he's a guy that I would like to see him bring along and try to develop.
Third down. Moves out of the pocket, and he'll take a slide. Looks like he slid past the first down marker.
Hopefully he got that first down. He is not in the position, and he does get the first down there, though. Hopefully he knew he had it, because he's not in the position where you can slide feet first and come up a foot short. Tony Romo, yes. Carson Palmer, yes. Alex Tanney, no. You better put your head down and get it. Challenge flag. They're going to see if they challenge the spot. I just see the red challenge flag here thrown by Bruce Arians.
That's a tough one
to get.
Tough one to challenge. because of more than anything the camera angle. I mean, unless you've got a camera on the 43-yard line.
I'm just assuming that's what the challenge
Arizona
is.
is challenging the rule in the field that placed the ball beyond the line to gain.
Well, one thing officials are not want to do is start going 3-4 inches on the spot of the ball.
Bruce Arians, though, he's working on throwing that red flag out there. Alex Tenney runs for an apparent first down that's being reviewed right now. And, of course, he got the attention of a whole lot of folks by what he posted, or someone near him posted on YouTube. The trick shot artistry of Alex Tenney.
They got a little everything going in this video. He's had over 3 million hits to this video.
That's impressive.
No matter
and there's not trick photography involved here, right?
No matter how long it took him, it's still impressive. However many throws. Of course, in the run throw, you know, he weighed about 180, and in the last, he weighed about 220. He was 5'10" at the beginning of the video, and 6'4" with a beard at the end of it. And this, here's the play again. You see, he's got to go to the 42, and I'm not so sure where he started that slide, but they won't. It was almost a full yard. Again, they're not. The officials are not wanting to sit there and place balls 6 and 3 inches away. But let's listen here.
After review of the play, when the runner started his slide, the location of the ball can be determined on the video. I will place the ball, and then we'll remeasure to determine if it's a first down or not.
So they're putting it right at the spot, apparently. And again, once once the feet come out and he slides feet first, he's now given himself up as a runner. Again, I would have liked to seen Alex Tanney just put his shoulder down, not necessarily run over the defender, but at least just take a shoulder, you know, dive forward. We saw John Elway do it in the Super Bowl.
And I think they were able to use the number there, the 40, where he went down. They could use that as a landmark on where to spot the football here, because they put the football right on the edge of that the number 0 on the 40-yard line.
Now, Jason Garrett's wanting an explanation. He's saying, look, I don't know if you've known what I've gone through here today, Cleat. Hey, we've had 5 turnovers. Don't do this to me.
Now Tony Romo wants in on the discussion.
But again, if I'm coaching Alex Tanney, not as a head coach, but I say, listen, go get the first down. Let's not put it in the hands of the officials in the spot right there. And here we go. We're going to bring out the chains. Take a look and see if he's got it. So they have remarked the ball here, and the chains are coming out.
And it's still a first down.
About half a length of the football.
I think that was a case, though, where because of where he was on the field, they could determine exactly where they were needed to spot the football. Whereas if he wasn't near a landmark like the number there.
And when you say exactly.
After review, the ruling in the field, first down Dallas. Arizona is charged with a timeout, and now Arizona is out of challenges for the rest of the game.
Thank goodness.
We can all cheer that.
They could see exactly within reason
exactly where they think they should spot
exactly.
it. All right, so 42-yard line, first down.
Just been handed our little note from our statistician Glenn. 5 times they've been under the hood today for a grand total of 18 minutes. It's going to be a long game.
And he's still not satisfied.
Bruce Arians is not happy.
Man, again, it's I don't want to say a judgment call, but it's wherever they spot it. I don't know what you can. Once they place the ball and they measure it, go play football. Now he's laughing. Now, if this was a regular season game, the headset would come off. He'd be stomping on it. He'd having to delete all sound. Preseason, he's getting a big kick out of it.
You know what they did? They took the red flag away from him. One of his guys on the sideline put it in his pocket.
Well, that's smart. That way he won't throw it again and get a penalty. That's what every coaching staff should do when you run out of challenges. Now what?
I have no idea what's happening now. But, to my credit, neither do they. Well, the interesting thing about that red flag, too.
Please set the game clock to 1 minute 44 seconds. 144.
They used to, the officials would take the red flag from the head coaches or whoever was holding it, it's typically the head coach, at the 2-minute warning. Because after 2 minutes, it's not challengeable by the coach. It all goes up to the read. But then they found they had a hard time getting the flags back to the head coaches for the start of the second half. So now you're in charge of those.
Like, where'd the flag go? And there's a sack.
And there was nothing open downfield there.
And that's Alex Okafor, the Texas Longhorn, getting his first action of the preseason.
Boy, that's a pretty big sack there, though. Now, Tanny, to all his fine attributes that he has, mobility is not one of them. He can move within the pocket a little bit, but I would not call him necessarily elusive.
Okafor, in the last game that he played at Texas, the Alamo Bowl, had 4 sacks in that game, and now he gets his first sack here. Dwayne Harris, ball that was almost picked by Tyrann Mathieu on the sideline. He went for it. Harris came up with it.
And it looks like he got the first down.
Well, when I saw that ball thrown, Bill, I said, oh, this is going to be trouble. Tyrann Mathieu just runs underneath it here. Gambles, doesn't get it. And it is a first down.
16 yards to the Arizona 47-yard line. If Mathieu wasn't 5'9", he might have been able to at least get a hand on that one. Kenny with time over the middle. Dwayne Harris with Mathieu defending.
Another nice throw by Tanny. Sets up nicely in the pocket there. Again, he's got a real presence in here. He's got protection now. Just steps up. Nice to have Dwayne Harris in there, a little veteran player for you as the third quarter winds down.
Tanny.
This is the end of the third quarter.
Tanny says his favorite target is Tim Benford. By the end of the day, it might be Dwayne Harris. Harris with a very nice third quarter. We head to the fourth when we come back to Glendale, Arizona. Time to tour AT&T Stadium. Get a behind-the-scenes look at AT&T Stadium with a VIP self-guided or art tour. Stadium tours are available anytime. For more information and to purchase tours, call 817-892-TOUR or visit the ticket office at AT&T Stadium. We start the fourth quarter here in the Valley of the Sun indoors.
Valley of the broiling sun.
It is. University of Phoenix Stadium. It's Alex Tanny who started the third quarter on 2nd and 11. Outside runs Joseph Randall, the 5th-round draft pick out of Oklahoma State, with his best gain of the afternoon.
And with the Cowboys' longest drive of the day, 12 yards there for Joseph Randall. Not a designed hole here. He steps inside, sees color, sees that red, says, I don't like that, bounces it outside. Nice job.
On that last catch by Dwayne Harris, he got shaken up just a little bit. They checked him out. He's still standing on the sideline. But if you notice, Anthony Armstrong went back in the game. And I told you earlier they were checking him out for concussion symptoms. And since they had cleared him to go in, they had to go to the independent doctor here on the sideline to clear him to actually go back in.
Tanny in trouble. Shows some elusiveness, and he'll take the slide at the 17.
Again, nice job by Tanny. I keep emphasizing it, though, but he steps back up into the pocket. Watch when he sets that back foot. The tackles, his offensive tackles, are running people by him. If you go out the back, they're going to get you for the sack. Steps up into the pocket. Even if you do get tackled, the sack is going to be much shorter. You lose 2 yards or a yard, or you get back to the line of scrimmage. You're right there. Nice job picking up 8 yards there for Tanny, and he is a perfect 7 for 7 passing in this game. 7 for 7. For number 7.
Play clock is down to 5. And it's Randall. They fake the end around. Randall scrambling to get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up a 3rd and 2.
Why does the fake end around never work? And then when you run the end around, they clobber your wide receiver too. Joseph Randall saying, hey, I thought they were supposed to go. I thought they were supposed to go the other way. Big 3rd and 2 play here. Now, if you're trying to just merely win the game, if you don't make it, you kick the field goal, turn it into a one-possession game, and you're down 9-3.
Play fake, tight end, Escobar, first down at the 13. This is a drive that started at the Dallas 11-yard line.
Nice job here, good play action fake. He's got Escobar, just gets it out to him. Like to see Escobar a little bit stronger with the ball on the run there. Looked like he was running something out of 7-on-7.
That's why you have a 6'6" tight end when he has to reach for the first down. He's got a lot of length.
He can get you 2 yards just by reaching the football out.
14 plays on this drive. Outside goes Randall. He can't get there, though. That was Tony Jefferson. Ran him down.
Fine line, Bill, when you start bouncing it outside. Yeah, we saw the previous one. Saw some color. Saw some red jersey. Said, I don't like it. He bounced it outside. Right here. Comes up the left side. And again, you start bouncing it. Those guys aren't accounted for in the blocking scheme to the outside. And you end up with loss of yardage plays. And that's a loss of 2 right there.
The Oklahoma Sooner ran down the Oklahoma State Cowboy there at the 15, 2nd and 12.
By the way, Harris is back in the game.
Going left to Benford at the 5.
Again, nice throw. Benford just runs a little simple out route to the left side of the screen. Here you see it. Not the greatest route in the world. I like to see him drive out of that break, go look for the ball on the sideline. But they connect. Brings up another 3rd and 2 for Alex Tanney, who is now 9 for 9.
16 plays on this drive now. Fake to Randall. There's Escobar to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Gavin Escobar. And Alex Tanney, a perfect 10 for 10.
And the Cowboys, Bill, basically came back with the exact same play that they ran to Escobar to the right side that picked up the first down on 3rd and 2, come back on the next 3rd and 2. Little play action fake, slip Escobar out into the flat. Tanney gives him a good ball. And they'll take a look at this play as they do every scoring play.
I was standing right here by the pylon. Boy, that's a tough call, guys.
It was right on the edge, so I'm sure they're going to want to take a look at this since it is a scoring play. They've looked at everything else today. Why not this one?
You know what? And if they had a challenge on that previous catch on the sideline, it looked like his one foot came down and then his hand hit before his knee did on the sideline.
All right, Clete Blakeman has just been given the word. We got it for a touchdown, and away they go.
We just figured out how many Cowboy fans are really here. This place erupted.
Dan Bailey on for the try. And the Cowboys cut the lead to 2 with 10:52 to play in this football game. Arizona 9, Dallas 7. Gavin Escobar with his first preseason touchdown. Now this from your local station. Customize your car with a set of Dallas Cowboys license plates from myplates.com or choose the popular Lone Star Black plate. My Plates even has a great looking pink plate. Visit myplates.com today. Cowboy scoring drive. It was nearly a 10-minute drive, 89 yards and 16 plays. Escobar with the 5-yarder and Tanney 7 for 7 for 71 yards.
That is a man-sized NFL drive right there, is it not?
And Tanney's now 10 for 10 for 100 yards in this game. Andre Ellington from the end zone, the rookie out of Clemson. So some nifty running ability, gets past the 20 out to the 23-yard line. And that's where Arizona will take over on offense, as there's a near perfect afternoon going for Alex Tanney. 9-7 Arizona. Alex Tanney with the Cowboys on the board finally, trailing it 9-7. Looking pretty good. Talking to another guy who is an undrafted free agent his rookie season.
Right now, Alex Tanney telling Tony Romo to brush up on the Wally Pipp story. Tony Romo telling Alex Tanney brush up on the contract that Jerry just gave me, and I have nothing to worry about.
Ryan Lindley is the new quarterback for Arizona, taking over at the 23. Ellington is stopped for a loss of a yard. You've liked what you've seen out of Alex Tanney in Oxnard, and you have to like what you've seen out of him tonight.
Yeah, he's found Alex Escobar 3 times here, 2 times on 3rd and 2. He's got, we talked about this, Tim Benford. He likes throwing to him the ball. He likes throwing it to Escobar here for a touchdown. Look at Alex Tanney, fired up. I love it. This is a guy that was in camp last year with Kansas City, broke his hand, only threw 1 pass in the preseason there, got released after the season, and here he is for the Cowboys. Signed him right before training camp.
Draw play to Ellington. He's got some running room. And he's knocked out of bounds by Underwood out around the 45-yard line.
Ellington, the 6th round pick, matter of fact, 2nd 6th round pick for the Cardinals. Running the ball up in there fairly nicely. As we mentioned, they took a running back with the 5th round pick and Stephon Taylor out of Stanford and Mansfield, and then took Ellington in the 6th.
Lindley to D.C. Jefferson for a short gain. The rookie tight end. How about a veteran tight end standing by with Mickey Spagnola?
And I do have Jason Witten with me. Jason, the offense was able to move the ball today, but the turnovers really hurt you in that first half.
Yeah, it was disappointing for us. I mean, I think we spent a lot of time in the offseason talking about we can't turn the ball over. We had a lot of yards. We were able to move the ball. Just when you turn the ball over like that, 4 turnovers offensively in the first half, it's just too much to overcome. That's disappointing. We got to work on that.
Which was strange because there didn't seem like, even in the practices, there was that many turnovers occurring, or the offense losing the football.
Yeah, that's been the case, and our defense does a good job trying to come after it in practice. That's something we focused on. Just got to carry over to the games, And the most important thing at the end of the play is to protect the ball, and we got to get it fixed. We got to get it in a hurry too.
How do you feel this? It seems like your base offense now is 2 tight ends. How do you think you guys have adapted that during the preseason, but mostly you practice it because you haven't shown it that much in games?
Well, it's been good for us. I think it creates mismatches, obviously with Hannah and then Escobar as well. And those guys continue to evolve. That's going to be mismatches, but you got to create it, and on coverages and also in the run game if they play a nickel defense to us. So that's something we spend a lot of time on, and hopefully it gives us an advantage coming into the season.
Been getting a lot of questions. People, where's Gavin Escobar? Where's Gavin Escobar? He kind of emerged today.
He did. He's any rookie, and you go into camp, there's challenges. He's gotten better as it's gone on, and obviously we need him to emerge and be those mismatches that we talked about. He needs to be one of those guys. So it's taken him a little while, but I thought he did well today. And nice touchdown catch, made some big plays. Hopefully he'll continue to get better, and when the season comes, he needs to be a weapon for us, and I think he will.
And I can imagine you can identify with that. You had to go through that growing period when you came into the league also.
Yeah, every tight end, it's a challenge. You different than college. You have to be at the point of attack, and you have to be a complete player. And so I think Westfield's done a good job of developing him. He's eager to learn. He wants to get better, and so I think he's done a good job of kind of bridging that gap between college football and now in pro. So hopefully he'll be a weapon for us, and this will be a formation that gives a lot of defenses mismatches come the season time.
Okay, Jason, appreciate it very much.
Mick.
Bill, back to you.
All right, thank you, Mickey. And that was Charles Hawkins, the rookie out of Southern University, going 33 yards on the reception from Ryan Lindley, and Arizona in business at the Cowboys' 5-yard line. Timeout is called.
Play clock was winding down on him here. Cowboys have been very good at keeping Arizona out of the end zone. We'll see if it continues with the present group.
Defense with their backs to the wall when we come back. Arizona with a 1st and goal at the 5-yard line, trying to extend a 2-point lead over Dallas with 7:05 to play. And in trouble in the backfield and dropped is Andre Ellington. That's Thaddeus Gibson, just signed this past week.
didn't wait long to make a play here. Gibson just knifes inside here. Throws him for about a 2-yard loss. And again, Cowboys defense has been put in some real tough field position by turnovers offensively. This time, they let him drive the football down the field because Arizona started it at the 23, but trying to hold him out of the end zone again.
Thaddeus Gibson, a former 4th-round draft pick for the Steelers back in 2010. Not much room for Ellington again.
We're getting a pretty good example of how they want to play their defensive front in this 4-3. If you notice, Gibson, and even on this play, everybody's getting upfield and they're creating havoc in the backfield, and that's sort of the philosophy of Kiffin and Marinelli. It's not about size and holding strong at the point of attack. They want to get upfield and create problems.
Arizona 5 of 12 on 3rd down from the 6. Lindley fires right side. Inside the 5. Dion Lacey in on the stop.
Nice play here by Lacey. They force Lindley to throw the football underneath. Cowboys have 3 men around the football, outside, inside, and behind. He's got nowhere to go. It's going to force another field goal for the Arizona Cardinals. So once again, the Cowboys have kept Arizona out of the end zone.
And once again, it's Jay Feely, the veteran place kicker. And he has his 4th field goal of this game. 5:07 left. The Cowboys trail 12-7. Don't miss a minute of Dallas Cowboys action. Season tickets are available for less than $1,000 a year. Call 817-892-4400 and speak with a sales consultant now. Cowboys ready to head back to the Metroplex after departing 3 weeks ago yesterday for Oxnard, California, the start of training camp. Right after this game, they are jetting back to Dallas-Fort Worth. Joseph Randall is in the end zone awaiting the kick from Jay Feely. Deep in the end zone, he'll elect to take a knee. So the Cowboys trailing by 5 will start at their own 20-yard line when we come back to Glendale. You've had an opportunity to interact with the television broadcast this afternoon as the Cowboys take on the Cardinals, and these are some of your pictures that you have either tweeted or posted on Instagram, and we thank you for your participation. #CowboysNation. From the 20, Alex Tanney still in there at quarterback, 10 for 10. They get 11 for 11, but that's a loss of a couple for Joseph Randall.
A little of that might have been Joseph Randall's fault there, Bill. He just kind of kept drifting outside. The farther he drifted, the more difficult it became for the block outside.
So it's never the quarterback's
Nope.
fault.
Or the offensive line.
Phil Costa is at center, and surrounding him are a bunch of guys that we should identify. Almost picked off.
You know, Bill, you were saying about who he's surrounded with. The good thing is Demetrius Bell is out on the field. They signed him, and kind of a veteran guy. He got the training camp. He wasn't in shape. He was way overweight, and took him almost the entire training camp to get him to practice. But this past week, he got into practice. Number 74 now. He's out at right tackle because they need to find themselves a backup swing tackle. Jeremy Parnell was thought to be that guy, but he was also hurt too.
3rd down for Tanney. Throws deep downfield, incomplete.
I think he was way past the line of scrimmage, wasn't he?
I don't see a
flag out. Boy, he stepped way back up into that pocket.
And so it's 4th down.
I guess he's good back there. The officials were right there. So we're on the other end of the field here from where Alex Tanny was.
And they've been on top of everything all day, so why would they miss this?
Well, it started at the 19 here. That was the line of scrimmage.
No, he's fine.
He's right at the edge of it.
Yeah, he's fine. You can be at the line of scrimmage. You just can't have any part of your body past the line, or all of your body has to be past the line of scrimmage in order for it to be a penalty. Oh, my. That's a flag. Micah Pellerin, 48-yard punt.
Not only is it a flag, I'm guessing it's probably going to be a fine, too.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, kicking team number 31. 15-yard penalty, first down, Arizona.
And here comes Pellerin from the left side of your screen. And he's just up near the head. Got a little head shot himself at the end of this thing. He's stumbling a little bit. Now they're trying to bring a little safety into this thing.
It was Charles Hawkins. Charles Hawkins, the punt returner for the Cardinals, being looked at on the sideline. So with 4:13 to play, the Cardinals take over at their own 48-yard line. Dick Butkus, one of those faces in the crowd in Oxnard at training camp, talking with Jason Garrett earlier this week. He also talked with Sean Lee, Andre Ellington. It's a couple. It's one thing about having training camp out in Oxnard. You get a bunch of people. You get celebrity types from Hollywood, but you also get a former NFL great, a Hall of Famer like Dick Butkus showing up.
Yep. Jason Garrett said he made it a point to tell Sean Lee, go over, say hello to him, ask him about your position, ask him about how he did it. One of the great ones. I say that was one of the great drafts of all time, too, because in that same draft, they took both first-round picks, Dick Butkus and Gale Sears. That's not bad.
Sean Lee wasn't in a bad draft either, with second-round pick Sean Lee, first-round pick Des Bryant.
I like it. I don't like it as much as Dick Butkus and Gale Sears. You'd be hard-pressed to go back and find a draft that yielded you two guys like that, back-to-back.
And that's the thing about Sean Lee. You get a guy like Dick Butkus, Jason Garrett, or any of the other coaches, they didn't have to tell Sean Lee, go talk to this guy. He's going to seek him out.
And Sean Lee's been helping a lot of the guys. Brandon McGee being one of them. All right, Morris Claymore isn't playing in this game, but he is talking to our Mickey Spagnola.
Never mind him, guys. Thanks, Babe. And Morris, I know you're not playing in the game, but it looks like you're getting closer and closer to getting back into practice.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. You know, really looking forward to this next week. It's going to be a big week for me. I get to get out and do some running. And, you know, hopefully I'll be ready, good enough to play in the game next week. Frustrating that you have to sit out that long with kind of a sore knee? Oh, it's just very frustrating, very frustrating. And just being out here tonight, you know, I felt like I was in the game, you know, just standing on the sideline, and, you know, I miss it. And I would imagine you missed it because your guys are in there from LSU on the other side with Patrick Peterson and Tyrann Mathieu. Oh, yeah, it was one of those games I was really looking forward to playing in, you know, just being out there and being on the field with those guys again, you know, and I just wanted to go out and play in this game and be able to make some plays and help my team. You had to be happy for Mathieu that he's gotten that second or third chance, whatever you want to call it, and he seems to be making the most of it. Oh, yeah, you know, every chance I get the chance to talk to him, you know, I just tell him, you know, just make the best of it, you know. Everybody make mistakes, you know, it depends on how you bounce back from it, and so far Pat's been doing a good job of taking care of him. You had to feel good the way your defensive teammates played. There was a lot of turnovers. They had to go back out there and make stops, and they just keep holding them to field goals. I mean, anytime you have a quarter like we had, well, half like we had with 5 turnovers, and you know, and still hold a team to 9 points, you know, that's great. Okay, appreciate your time. Get healthy. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, thanks. All right. Morris Claiborne, Bill, back to you.
And Morris Claiborne has become one of Mickey Spagnola's favorite players because he calls him Sir.
Sir, yes. I keep not only demanding but commanding respect. I like that.
All right, stop it.
I love it. Hey, Cowboys go over it all the time in camp, Bill. Different scenarios. Well, here it is now. 3:14, one timeout. You're down 5 points. What are you going to do, Alex Tanney?
Here's your opportunity, starting at his own 18-yard line, and there is Dante Rosario. That's the way you get started.
Well, a good throw and catch. Rosario, a beefy guy, probably the Cowboys' best blocking tight end. And Alex Tanney throws him a strike.
No huddle, getting to the line of scrimmage.
Picked up a 23, and now Anthony Amos. That's another 9 yards.
Picked up Anthony Amos is what they picked up right there.
Jefferson made a very good decision not to body slam him.
2nd and 1 for Alex Tanney, who's picking up fans with every completion. And Rosario, that's a catch. That's a first down.
Again, one timeout. He's going to have the 2-minute warning. We're at 2:15 and counting, so should be able to snap one more play before they get to that 2-minute warning. He and Joseph Randall trying to communicate back here, down to 3.
Just got it off. And that was incomplete to Danny Cole.
Yeah, and that one's on Danny Cole there. He kind of came out of his break and slowed down.
So 1:58 left. We'll see if Alex Tanney can pull it off when we come back.
The last play here, we'd circle up. You got Anthony Amos in the slot. It's a slant here, slant outside. Danny Cole, though, doesn't keep running through the ball.
So it's 2nd down and 10 for Alex Tanney. Cowboys trailing by 5. Rolling out is Tanney. Smart throw it out of bounds.
Yep.
Don't force anything there. It's 3rd and 10.
Well, and you have 2 downs here. You know you're going for it on 4th down, so you can't have the mindset of, okay, I got 1 play left here. You got 2. If you drop it off again and you pick up 5, that's okay. You got a 4th and 4, you'll be go for it on there. Cowboys 5 of 11 on 3rd downs today. So again, a dump off here is not the worst thing in the world. You got to throw it to Joseph Randall, let him make some yards for you. You never know when you just get that first down turned for you by your back. Too much time. Alex Tanney, you saw him asking for the ball.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So turn it into 3rd and 15.
Now it gets a little tougher. Phil Costa to center. Tanney was back there clapping his hands. A lot of the crowd is left here, but they're pretty vocal, and most of them are Cowboy fans.
6 penalties, 55 yards for Dallas in this game. That one picked up. That man Tony Jefferson again. Jefferson inside the 40-yard line. His 2nd interception of this football game.
It could have been a hero's ending for Alex Tanney here. This time, we showed you earlier in the game looking from the outside to the in for the quarterback. This time, Alex Tanney just doesn't see the safety coming inside here. He just reads Alex Tanney's eyes. Jefferson makes a play on the in route. He had nothing to do. Alex Tanney thought he was going to go up with the tight end there, number 80, Dante Rosario, up the seam. He falls off it and just goes into the in route.
Can I say something again?
Yes, please.
I can't believe Tony Jefferson wasn't drafted.
Was he? Where did you have him in the Bill Jones
I had him
mock
like
5
3rd round. 3rd round. He wasn't drafted. That's 2 interceptions for him, and now Arizona with 1:40 to go. It'll be a false start.
He really telegraphed that pass. He just stared him down, and I was standing down.
Offense, number 86, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
I was standing downfield, so I had the same sight that the safety had, and I could see exactly what was getting ready to happen.
And again, they had Dante Rosario to the left side of the offense there. He runs a seam kind of right up the numbers. He's hoping to clear that area out for the in route behind him, but Jefferson was having none of it and just read Alex Tanney and went to that in route.
Andre Ellington, nothing there. Jerome Long and others swarming. The Reliant bring the energy defensive player of the game for the Cowboys. Let's go with Bruce Carter. Welcome to Reliant. How can we help you? He was bringing it early in this game.
Tell you how he can help the Cowboys. Just keep doing what he did early in this game. And again, the starting defense didn't take a whole lot of snaps. There he is, number 54 for the Cowboys, who have used their last timeout now.
People talk about number 88 for the Cowboys. Now that's a number that goes back in history. Well, number 54 is a pretty good number for the Cowboys in history as well.
One of the best, Randy White, number 1.
Chuck Howley. 39-yard line. It's third down now as the clock now ticks.
Yeah, Cowboys are going to have a chance to get this ball back.
You know, one thing we talk about the preseason here, but Cowboys will open the regular season against the New York Giants, and it's been a while since the Cowboys were able to open at home in that type situation. And look at the early schedule; it's going to be big for the Cowboys in the regular season. Early part of the schedule. Nothing there. UPS player of the game. How about Alex Tanney? He was 10 for 10. He was 11 for 11 at one point in this game. Had a 7 for 7 drive that resulted in a lone touchdown of the game. But Gavin Escobar just got in at the pylon. Alex Tanney
did a nice job. Just ran out of magic at the end there.
There's about 4 seconds difference between the game clock and the play clock here.
Looks like the they're going to take their timeout. When the play clock goes to 1 second, yep, and it's exactly right, Mick. They're going to leave 4 seconds on the clock.
Third and final timeout.
My math skills didn't fail me.
Now you can do a number of things here. You can just have your quarterback drop back out of the shotgun and throw it in the air.
Yeah.
Out of bounds.
This is one of those end of game
right side or left side.
You practice at training camp.
You can have your punter. You can have your punter just kick it up into the air and knock it through the end zone. 4 seconds are going to run out. You can give it to a player who can then run around and try to kill 4 seconds on the clock.
What would you do?
I put it in the hands of my quarterback and just tell him throw it out of bounds.
You remember when they practiced that the first time with Bill Parcells in San Antonio and they threw the ball like way out of bounds in this same situation and all the people started booing like the quarterbacks were just so inaccurate.
Ryan Lindley will drop back and he will heave it deep down the sideline, and that will eat up the remainder of the clock, and that will do it.
They did what I would have done.
That's exactly right. Jason Garrett and the Cowboy coaching staff have a lot to work on as they head back to Dallas-Fort Worth now. A 12-7 win for the Arizona Cardinals, who are 2-0 this preseason. The Cowboys fall to 0-2. We'll be back to wrap this one up from Glendale, Arizona in just a moment, but now this from your local station.